So for this mission, we have something new. We've got these 4 things here, which I'm told we can charge up, and they'll fire anti-particle or just really nasty shots or something. We'll find out when we get there. I've got this fort up here, a bunch of friendly struck, a little bit of land and an energy node. We've got this enemy fort here, and then we've got this enemy controlled area over here. While the mire spawners and emitters are much denser down here than they are over here, I'm going to hit this area first, because that'll help me charge up these guns, which will allow me to assault the right. Now you notice there's a lot of really poor energy coverage. Namely, there's none in this no man's land in the middle. So I'm guessing this is some kind of big tanker. So I'm going to want to get that before I make any assault forward. Alright, let's get started. I'm not going to prioritize lathes quickly, because I don't really need to collect the scrap much quicker, and I'm not trying to grab a bunch of nodes. What I am going to prioritize is omnis. And I've got a little bit of breathing room because of this struck here, but I don't know how much. Can't fire up that land, I don't have energy coverage. Hopefully, this super tanker is going to help me solve that problem. So it says it's good for powering remote systems. Let's see what that looks like. As soon as I got all this scrap and those amp gems. As long as I keep it inside energy range, all it really does is boost the existing energy range, which is exactly what I need. Well, that was bad. Well, that was bad. I don't like any of these spawners. That center ground's providing a great barricade. The particles can't make it across, they're just going to get stuck over there, but the emergent, on the other hand, is going to be a big problem. So now is the time to start getting defenses. Stop screwing around, get some defenses. So the supply ship does not have generators, but it does have a big old well, and it's got a pair of guppies. So at least it can operate outside of energy range for a little while. And as long as it's not providing power to a bunch of stuff, it can probably stay outside of energy range indefinitely. So I'm starting to get ahead of my power needs. Can't keep those omnis powered while also getting this lower section until I get the micro tanker up. Or we do that. Right, energy situation is great. There are a pair of stunners to the right, which are going to be firing in about a minute. So prioritize dischargers next. Probably have only built one discharger, because I'm about to use up the last of my spare energy. I got greedy. Should have built just one at a time so I didn't beat out my recharge rate. So grab that last amp gem. Moving the supply vessel up to see if I can grab that info node. I cannot. Now let's think about hitting down there. Figure head down the left first, because then I again only have to take on stuff going from the right, and then sweep. So go down the left and then sweep right. How about defending? Don't really need to leave a lot of defenses actually, so let's build the destroyer, build the Joven. Let's leave them on defense for now, along with a discharger, and then let's send everything else down the left side. Cool, stunner's handled. Let's do this. Let's not do this yet. That's poor discharger placement. All the stunners are coming from the right. He doesn't need to be over on the left. Defenders are done. Let's just get 1 or 2 more attack ships. Could use the extra energy range of having both tankers. Okay, I really need to try this push. Building up the forces are just taking way too long. Cruiser, cruiser. Wolf. I know he's not done yet. He'll work on it while he's on his way. This is where I'm going to start needing those lathes. So picking up that info cache unlocked tech, which will allow me to use amp gems to upgrade my stuff, which explains why I have so many amp gems. I'm going to take a look at some of these, so stand by for a minute. So I've picked energy range increase and land production increase because I really need power and I really need power range. I've got a lot of land, I don't have a lot of mines. These are going to increase in efficiency the longer they're left there, so in this case, pulling your amp gems out of research is bad. Pulling them out of ships, kind of bad. Research, really bad. See if we can get lathe range. We can, because I can really use an energy source up here. Really don't need this many ships up here. I could probably use them down here. Energy store's going well. Let's get a couple more ships. Then I'll have most of the war fleet. We're going to advance on this next emitter. It's not producing enough particles to be a problem. The particles that are being produced are really erratic, so I'm not as worried about having the hammer or something else to provide cover for the lathe. But I'm still going to bring these cruisers up so they're taking it on the chin instead of the lathe. That could be bad. Let's fall back from that. Falling the lathe back and ramming the cruisers into those particles. Yeah, the cruiser took a bit of damage, but the lathe isn't as tough. It's half of what cruisers are for. We're going to keep falling back, decrease the DPS, increase how much damage we're doing. Well, decrease the DPS, decrease how much damage we're taking. So that was bad, but everyone's still alive. So that would be a situation when, yes, I really would like to have that hammer. Thanks. Once we rebuild, we'll go in again. Flying the hammer over here across uncontrolled space without much of its front armor intact is not the world's greatest idea, but I need it here. Okay, cruisers are mostly ready to go. Let's try that again. Let's bring 2 lathes this time. Yeah, I'm gonna need the hammer. Kind of ignoring what's going on up here. It's really not being threatened. Okay, I'd say the hammer's built enough. Let's get it in there. Let's finish this guy off. There we go, emitter down. Next priority is going to be those mire spawners down there. I'll drop a couple omnis in. So we're going to bring the micro tanker in. I'll bring the heavy tanker in. Get rid of some of that struck. There, now I don't have to dodge it anymore. I could really use some benign particles right about now. Let's get a couple grabbers going. The initial plan was to omni this land once I destroyed those mire producers, but I have a feeling this is just going to take a really long time, and the lathes have the range to pull this off. So I'll just use the lathes. That might also do something about that struck. Can I get that last? I can, if I find myself an amp gem, like on you. So with that amp gem, I can probably get that last mire producer without too much threat. However, that guy looks like he wants to play. So let's get the war fleet ready to go. Oh good, his own struck is really messing with him. I'm pretty sure that lathe will be just fine. Let's take out some of the struck so I can get in at that last emitter. Destroy some of those particles first. There's so many of them I don't want to face attack just yet. But once I kill a few more of them, well, let's deal with that stunner. And then see what the enemy looks like. Cool. Get in there. Not as threatening as I expected. Okay. Hammer fort. I can't actually get the lathes in there at this point. I'm going to have to circle around because it's struck, which is rebuilding awfully fast. Yeah, I'm going to need a new plan. I can't just send everybody around the bottom because I don't have the energy range for that. I really want to deal with this before I go moving on. There we go. Hammer fort accomplished. There we go. Now I'm going to have to move... I'm not going to have to move out of range because I have 2 tankers and I can leapfrog this energy. Not like that, I can't. Driving through all the struck. Let's see if I can take out this enemy energy node without needing to leapfrog the energy. The other tanker. Good. Let's leapfrog the energy. Not the goofballs. Alright, at this point, I've secured this left side base. I just have this right side, the couple stunners and the emitter over there on the right. I'm going to need to countermire all this land, though, before I can get anything done. So let's get started with that. Actually, the best way to do this might very well be to send it all down here and then fire straight into that land, because we've got energy coverage down here. Get moving while he's doing that. We're going to mop up a lot of this struck. Build a couple of omnis in midair and land them on that island. So at this point, it looks like things are going to take a little bit of time. I need to countermire that land, which is going to take some time. I won't be able to assault forward to those energy nodes until I do so. I just won't have the energy range or the firepower. So you may be up for a whole bunch of sped up time while I do this the long way. I'm probably going to... Countermire up there is working okay. But since I can assault down here and build omnis down here, that's where I'm eventually going to be setting everything up. Although, I need to countermire those. Let's start with those. I know I've got energy coverage from my tankers. But better to keep those omnis within range of a real energy mine, so I'm not too worried about moving a tanker later. Speaking of that, let's get a nice defensive wall set up. Cool, that one's done. So the first energy cannon thing is done. So I'm going to use this lathe to, well, I didn't really need him to destroy the struck. I'm going to power him using range on one of the supply ships. Do the same thing with the other two. It's also going to allow me to snag that energy mine. Oh, the range quite yet. You get any closer. Yes, you can. That guy's done. That guy. Alright, supply vessels are getting powered. All the guns are countermired. Get my own omnis in place. So these particle cannons, or whatever they are great. Or these anti-particle cannons are great, but I need energy range. So I need countermiring. I need to grab that energy node, and then from there I should be able to push right up the middle after I destroy that struck. These omnis are going to help me destroy the struck, although they will fall prey to those stunners. Oh no, stun the hammer. So at this point it's time to start making a push. Once the hammer is done, I'm going to ram him through that struck, and I'm going to bring the war fleet in right behind him. And we should just be able to make a charge straight down the middle. We're going to prioritize the emitters. Once the emitters are down, we'll take out the stunners. Because we don't have energy range on the stunners from anywhere, I'm not going to want a bunch of particles flying around because I won't have the ammunition to deal with them. Okay, not my greatest plan. Fortunately, the cruiser was tough enough to take it. Where's my big tanker? There he is. Blades. Joven, why not? I like how it's trying to build struck, and you can see it just eating away at the front of the hammer over here. It's not going to do you any good. It's actually not go quite that far. You know, I don't really need the extra range on that supply vessel, but what I do need is the extra range on the lathes. Yoo-hoo! That was bad there for a second, but nothing I couldn't handle. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that awful. It looks like I've done about everything I can with counter-miring. Where is my... Yeah, I really need to keep a better eye on that. The whole front line's about to get stunned, which is going to slow the attack a little, although apparently absolutely none of it was stunned, so that's good. Let's get up there again, before he builds up another heavier defense. Spread them out a little bit, though, so I can get the lathes. I don't think that one's going to have range. Yeah, he's right at the edge. There. Hopefully this will be enough, and I'm not going to have to fall back. I'm going to zoom in real close so we can keep an eye on that armor. It'll be enough. Come on. Come on, if the particle beams go down, we're falling back. Come on. Done. Oh, that was close. Fall back. Move the cruisers in front of him to keep him covered. Oh, and hey, fall the blades back too. Oh, that last one's going to be a pain. No energy coverage whatsoever. Can I leapfrog it? Or can I get a couple amp gems? I want it on the lathes. I want it on the missile. I don't need all that extra power, so let's pull it out of land production increase. Let's release that. Throw it on you. Cool. There. So here's how we're going to do this. Leapfrog the power. Put him right at the edge. Bring him to about there, and that'll give me the range I need. Now we're going to move everyone up just a little bit so that I can put the heavy tanker there. The heavy tanker will still be within range. Let's scoot him up as far as I can get. While we're doing that, let's get the rest of the fleet in. Discharger on either side. Cool, pick the last of these particles so we get some attention. Ah, that turned out to be bad. Come on. Yes! Intact. Okay, let's let everybody get their armor and guns back. And as soon as they have, we're going to do it again. Whoops. Let the cruisers get ahead. Destroyed the biggest mass, but that thing's regenerating fast. I might need a different plan. I can't just keep ramming these guys in here. Move up slowly, decrease the enemy DPS. Get everything we got in here. Where's the destroyer? Everything I got. Where's the command vessel? Cool. Move up slowly. So far, so good. Don't have much more range. I want to get a little bit more armor before I go charging right in there, but I can push up a little. Okay, gotta get a little closer. This should do it. There's the emitter, so all I've got left are these two stunners, which I should be able to leapfrog the energy out close enough to each of those. Heck, if I don't have to worry about any more particles. Who needs to worry about energy? So this should cover it. So I'm not worried about particles. I can just drive a lathe straight in there. And the command vessel's got power of its own, so I can just send him in there. Heck, if I thought about that, I would have kept the command vessel out, taken these guys out earlier. Done. Overall, the plan worked pretty well. It worked best at the beginning by only exposing one side to enemy fire rather than trying to attack down the middle here, which would have gotten me attacked from all sides. Leapfrogging the energy proved to be pretty effective, and the hammer fort, as always, saved my bacon.